I don't know what's going on with Ferrari these days, but it seems like their reputation with enthusiasts is lower than it maybe has ever been in its entire history. And that realization was really kicked off when I saw the Ferrari Luce at Car Week go for $40 million in auction, and the reaction to that and what people immediately thought. So we're going to look at Ferrari and how their reputation has started to diminish over the years today. And that all really starts off in my mind when you see how the SF90 was received. So the SF90 was released in, 19 or 20, and it's stickered for over $500,000. People were without options. People were paying over MSRP to get it, like they often do when Ferraris first come out, and people were paying up in the sevens. And now if you look at earlier year SF90 Stradales especially, some have transacted in the mid to high threes, and they're going in the low fours regularly. So they took a huge depreciation drop, which we don't typically see with modern Ferraris. I don't recall the 458, the 488, and onwards really having that kind of depreciation drop, especially for their rear mid-engine cars. And the SF90 was just perceived horribly. Now the 296, which came out close to the same time, had much better reception. People were much happier with it. But people that drove the SF90 didn't like the way it drove. It didn't really feel like a Ferrari to them. And so that was the first sign that it seemed like Ferrari's reputation that seemed untouchable was starting to fall off. Then you look at the design nowadays. I was getting into cars towards the tail end of the 458 was when I really got into cars, like really obsessed and, paying attention to everything. The 488 was received well. Like I said, the 296 was received well. Their front engine cars, if you go back from the FF on, their front engine 12-cylinder cars have been received well until the Dodici Cilindri came out. And people that have driven it says it's a great drive, it's a fun drive, it feels like a front engine Ferrari, but the looks have been considered polarizing. The new F80, the looks are polarizing. And the cars with this front end, the new Testarossa, the 849 I think it is, the Testarossa, all these like the big thick black bar, people have not liked at all. And even the SF90 design was controversial. Less controversial, I think, than some of the modern designs, but Ferrari had like I said, the SF90 received poorly for even the way it drove. People were unsure how good they thought it looked. The 296 was obvious. People loved the way it drove, loved the way the 296 looked. And then this modern trend that they've done in the last couple of years with this like black bar has not been perceived well. And so we're starting to see Ferrari's reputation with enthusiasts start to fall off. Like I said, starting with the SF90. And then the big bomb was the Ferrari Luce. Now, I'm obviously a very small YouTuber. When I'm recording this, I have 92 or 94 subscribers. I'll probably still be under 100 in a couple days when I post this. And so my videos tend to do 100 to 200 views. Sometimes they get to 300. My highest viewed video, for whatever reason, is a Corolla hatchback review. And the second highest video at this point is me talking about the Ferrari Luce, because the Ferrari Luce was the biggest negative PR hit I have ever seen from Ferrari. It was the most unloved launch of a Ferrari product that I can remember. And if you wanted to get clicks or views like I did, you just talk about the Ferrari Luce when it was revealed. And it has received so much hate to this day. People are still making fun of it regularly. No public opinion has really changed on it overall, especially in the enthusiast spaces. So then you fast forward to this past weekend when you had the auction that had the Chassis Zero, the first production chassis Ferrari Luce that had some bespoke elements to it, like the paint and some other details that are going to be exclusive to this auction car. Now, Ferrari likes to auction a car at Car Week. I don't know if it's every year, but it's quite frequent, where they raise money for the Ferrari Foundation, which builds schools, funds education programs throughout the world, does a lot of really good for childhood education, which is awesome. And that does inflate values for these auctions. But the Ferrari Luce this weekend that was auctioned off went for $40 million and set a new record for auction price on a brand new car. And the immediate reaction was, this is Ferrari. They paid off somebody, or this is people within Ferrari. This is a fake thing that they did to try to boost the PR and the perception on the Luce. And that also got added to by the fact that they're not revealing who the winning bidder is or who the buyer is. So we have no idea if it's a rich guy that wants to make a $40 million donation and get a car with it, or if it's Ferrari trying to boost the PR for the Luce. And I can't remember anything in the last decade and a half when I've really started to pay attention to Ferrari that people thought they did anything just to boost their reputation. And that was the immediate reaction. So Ferrari products since the SF90, for the most part, have not been well received. Their values are not holding, and in fact, it's actually boosting up the values of their older products like the 458 and the 488 because people are not happy with current Ferrari. The F80, which is like the new line in the F40, 50, 288 GTO, Enzo, LaFerrari, like that's the continuation of that line, was not well received. The only, or at least on a look standpoint, the only car that I can think of in the last 5 or 10 years from Ferrari that was really well received immediately besides the 296 is the SP3 Daytona. The SP1 and 2 or whatever, they're very niche cars, but the SP3 kind of fits in that line with the LaFerraris and stuff. And that was pretty well received as well, but Ferrari design has not been well received, and then the Luce was the nail in the coffin for the Ferrari reputation. And I just didn't think I would see the day where a Ferrari would set a new record. Instead of people going, wow, good job, Ferrari, people went, all right, something smells fishy about this. And so I just want to make a quick video talking about what has been going on with Ferrari's reputation. I personally feel the way most people do, although I'm more favorable towards the new designs. I actually like the new Testarossa and the Dodici Cilindri, although I'm not happy with the manual, which that actually got better reception than I thought. The Dodici Cilindri Manuel with its shift-by-wire manual got way better reception than I thought it would, and the overall opinion has been better than my opinion because people were just happy to have some kind of manual. But then you have McLaren with the MCL 6 GT be revealed, that prototype that has an actual 6-speed manual, and Ferrari said, our cars are too powerful. Well, there'd be a lot of R&D money to make this transmission. Essentially, it's not worth it because we'd have to develop a new one that could handle this power, and we don't want to do that. And then McLaren says, look at this new limited edition hyper supercar we're going to put out, and it's going to have a 6-speed manual. And so that's going to hurt Ferrari's reputation as well, because if McLaren can do it, so can Ferrari, and Ferrari's not going to. So, you know, I definitely think a little worse of Ferrari these days than I used to, and it seems like enthusiasts do as well. So that's my opinion on Ferrari's reputation and where it stands with enthusiasts. It's certainly down in my mind for me, as well as in the enthusiast culture as a whole. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you thinking lesser of Ferrari? Do you think enthusiasts do? Do you think that's correct or incorrect? And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like car content and you want to see mine first. And check out the links in the description. I have short form accounts for car stuff, as well as my Twitter and hiking short form and long form accounts if you want to check out some other content in some other places. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.